Hello, welcome back to the channel, guys. We're gonna hop back onto the GoPro just like the early days. Sorry for that noise. That was our little butt killer there. But yeah, just like the early days, we're gonna hop back onto the GoPro today and do a little vloggity install. So let me show you what we've got installed for today. So as you can see here, we've got two Berk high flow cats. These are the 70mm editions, and the reason why we have two is because that silver one right there has a Catless test pipe, and it is ridiculously raspy. And this one's the stock one. And I find the stock one to be a little too quiet, and that test pipe Catless is extremely raspy. I'll put clips here of how both of these cars sound before the high flow cat. So I figured the high flow cat's probably going to be a good middle ground. So I went ahead and bought the 70mm one because people have said that the 70mm is probably best paired with the Q300 for power. So that's why we got it, and should be a pretty simple install. It's going to be 5 bolts and an O2 sensor. This isn't like the Accord downpipe where things are hot right off the turbo and annoying to break off. So this should be quick. Let's go ahead and get this test pipe installed and get you some clips of how this will sound with the Q300. I'll see you in a bit. Alright guys, this one should be pretty straightforward. Just a bunch of 12s, 14s, and an O2 sensor. Make sure if you guys are doing this, get some new gaskets as well, because you never know how old these gaskets are. on a car this old. So let's go ahead and set you guys down and get to installing. Alright, we start by soaking a couple of these bolts in PB Blaster because this is an older car, so we're gonna soak some of that in some PB Blaster. And in the meantime, let's see if we can get this O2 sensor off. Ooh. Okay. Don't think we'll be getting that off with a wrench. Let me get a different tool real quick. Let's try this one. Hopefully this is the right one here.
Honestly, guys, I don't know why I was worried about this one. This one, the blue one, as far as I know, has never really been a solid state car. So this one, thankfully, everything is coming apart easily. The main concern is going to be on that silver one. That silver one has indeed been has seen better days. It's been in a northern state, so that silver one is gonna be a bit of a pain in the ass with some of the rust. But so far, blue one at least, coming apart extremely easily. Thank goodness. And that's all the bolts out. We should be able to just drop this gently. You know what? We'll reuse this one. This one looks to be in decent shape. So, not too worried about this gasket. And I believe Berk provides new gaskets as well. So let's hop on over to the brand new one and compare the two. Alright. Here we have, this is the stock cat, and this is the Berk high flow cat, as you can see inside. Maybe you guys can see inside, but we still have some honeycomb in there, so we're still catted. And this comes with an extended O2 sensor right here, so you shouldn't throw any check engine lights, and your accompanying gasket and hardware. So pretty straightforward. We're gonna toss this back in, and then we'll do the same for that silver one out there as well. And then I'll grab you some clips for the brand new one. See you guys underneath the car again. Alright, that was pretty straightforward. A little sweaty because it's pretty low to the ground, honestly. It's a little tight down there, but you know what? Pretty simple install. First off, let's get a cold start with the AP2. And then let's move the silver one in next and do the high flow cat on that as well. Hopefully that one will be just as easy. Fingers crossed. Probably gonna jinx myself now that I said it, but let's get you a cold start and I'll show you guys how that sounds with the high flow cat. To be honest, not a whole lot different compared to the stock cat, I think. We'll take it out for a drive, of course, and we'll get some clips of it once I take it out for a drive and see if there's any difference. But on cold start, seems to sound pretty similar. But let's go ahead and get this car out and get the silver one in so we can do the same thing for the silver one. Whew, wow, okay, this one took a lot longer than I expected. I really did jinx myself. So, this car, from the Carfax, this was a northern state car, so you know, I kind of expected there would always be a little bit of rust, but a lot of the bolts snapped on the test pipe, so I had to run out and get some new bolts. So, yeah, fun time, fun time. Don't buy a northern state car unless you get a really killer deal on it. And even then, still would not recommend getting it because this was just a pain in the ass to do. But yeah, both cars have a Berk high flow 70mm high flow cat test pipe now. So let's get some exhaust clips for you guys. All right, guys, we've got ourselves all cleaned up, all changed up. Got both cars with high flow cats on now. So let's take the blue one out for a quick drive and get some get some clips, get some first impressions first, and then we'll pop the GoPro on the trunk and get some audio clips for you guys. So let's go ahead and get all out of here. Alright, so immediately down low, honestly, it doesn't sound that much different from a stock Cat. Throttle response seems to be pretty much the same. Again, it's really going to be all at the top end. I think that's where we'll feel any difference and hear it as well. But yeah, just cruising around so far. I think it's slightly louder than stock, ever so slightly, but more or less pretty similar to stock. No like rasp below 5k RPM. The real test is going to be at 6k when we hit VTEC. So we'll do that in just a minute once the car warms up, and you guys will be able to see my first impressions with how the exhaust sounds once we rev it out to red line. So I'll see you guys once we rev. I'll see you guys once we get the car warmed up and hitting VTEC. All right, here we go. We're in second gear. Let's hit it. It's definitely a little more raspier up top compared to the stock Cat, but it's not as bad as the test pipe if you guys have seen the footage from when I showed you guys when I revved out the AP1. So I think this is definitely a good middle ground. So we'll do one more. Yeah, it's still a little raspy up top, and I think that's just all Hondas. You naturally have a little rasp. It's not as bad compared to the AP1 when it was Catless. So hopefully when we go test drive that AP1, it's gonna sound like this too, where it's just ever so slightly raspy up top, but down low cruising around, it's fine. So it sounds great so far. So let me go pull over, pop the GoPro on the back, and get you guys some exhaust clips. So that's gonna do it for today's video. We just went on a quick test drive with the AP1 and the AP2. And honestly, my thoughts with this high flow Cat is I'm mostly happy with it. I think with these cars being high revving, there's always gonna be a little bit of rasp up top. So that was a little bit disappointing, but you know, I think that's just how Honda engines are. They will always be a little raspy, especially when you have an 8,000–9,000 RPM redline.
So not much we can do about the rasp unless we want to change up the exhaust a little bit. But overall, pretty happy with it, especially on the AP1 because that one was test pipe and it was god awful. Like it would rasp basically at any RPM. Whereas now with the high flow cat, it really only rasps once you go past VTEC. So, you know, what can you do? But you know what? VTEC is fun, so it's gonna be a little nasty. But you know, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. It was a little more casual, laid back, just quick install. Really not that hard. 5 bolts, and pretty easy to come off. If you have a rusty car like this AP1, that was a pain in the ass to do, but what can you do? It's a rusty car, it's $50, whatever. But yeah, if you guys like the content, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Again, every video I keep coming out with this, we are almost at 1,000 subscribers, so if you guys could please help us reach 1,000 subscribers, hit that subscribe button. And also be sure to check out my Instagram at QMedia for any random behind the scenes content, general car life stuff. You know, if there's an event in Virginia that you guys want to come to that I'm going to, feel free to come out, say hi. But yeah, that's gonna take care for today's video. Hopefully that was somewhat helpful in terms of like getting those sound clips and making a difference, or seeing if there is a difference between stock cat, test pipe, and high flow cat with the Q300. So yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. So peace out and take care.